fight the power like Big Chuck.
What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace, the Dark Chameleon.
Peace to the
Listen, check it, yo. It was a cold April morning under the constellation Aries. The moon was 85% under the luminaries. From the celestial waters to the womb my soul was carried. Then my mother gave birth to a warrior and visionary. But when I speak this truth, I feel like nobody hears me. Every once in a while, I give sight to someone blind, floating on the globe in the heliocentric lie. Dilate your pupils the more you open your eyes. The truth is sitting in plain sight like a disguise. Until my mother's death is revenge, I won't feel satisfied. It haunts me when I think about the phone call when she died. A river worth of tears shed from my eyes. So I looked up at the sky and I asked God why. It's been 21 years, I'm still waiting for a reply. Since birth I've been at war, the attack our undeveloped minds. Indoctrination camps making us dumb, deaf and blind. I'm always thinking solutions, we are running out of time. The dirty witchcraft is weak, I see through all the lies. I clearly analyze all the symbols and the signs. When I connect dots, the truth starts to align. The people are the power, you can never eclipse my shine. I say the truth hurts, but the truth will set you free. They say hell burns and there's a one-way ticket for me. You create your heaven or hell whether or not you believe. I'm God and Satan, I have to balance out my chi. One day these seeds I plant will bloom so you can be all you can be. Never give up and always hold your head high, cause you are God, there's no need to look to the sky.
Domain expansion.
Rogue One Production.
Welcome to the abyss. The unstoppable one, I am the illest, no doubt, sporadic.
All right. That song's fire. If anyone wants to listen to Hurricane JW, that's the song that just played called The Abyss. He has a bunch of records on his channel. His link's in the description. Not now, because I got to put it in but the other videos have it. And Sir Drop. As a matter of fact, let me play one of Sir Drop's tracks real quick, so people can get an idea of his music. Which one should I play? I'll play The World's Glitching.
My mind travel to dark places and bring back light from the dark ages. You were born dying. Once you start aging, things start changing. Realizing all your thoughts come from the dark ages. Patient, have patience. It take time to diagnose the right illness. Every second, every hour, our brain changing. They say read a book instead of your bank statement. Broke with a broken soul, a hopeless troll, going against the grain, blocking lanes until you lose control. What's the force that moves your bones? And what's the voice you hear in your head when you all alone? We all were cloned from a X and Y chromosome, and you gotta go to the ocean floor to find the oldest bones. With the squids and the oldest souls, the spine of the sea is the coral reef. Is there gravity in the water? Take a dive in, boy, and see. As your dead body float, you sure to see the sun rise at your feet. It's hard to make decisions. Listen when the world is glitching. It's hard to make decisions. World is glitching. Family, I go to war behind. Morals, I stand behind. For the record, I had to put it on the vinyl. This is basic instructions before leaving Earth. When the blood pressure squeeze, it hurt. When the pressure's on your bloodline, and it comes down to whoever family squeezing first. We berserk in front of maroon vibe, like the color bleeding through his shirt. Me and baby pray together. That's how we stay together. Hallelujah. Meaning hell is where they lure you. Meaning hell is in the ground when they lower you. That's the lower you. That's when you see your soul split in two.
And that's Sir Drop. A lyrical fucking genius. And I don't just say that. I was listening to Sir Drop's music before I ever made any track with him. And I chose to make a track with him, or ask him. And I was shocked when he said, yeah. Because he's a fucking nice MC for sure. He's not a rapper. He's an MC. What's up, Naga? Peace. Who else is in here? That's it. Well, I'll send you the link then, Naga. Yeah, this is getting out of hand, man. What's up, Three Fingers? I leave for 1 second just to do something and it boots me out all the time. I gotta fucking get my verse together today. So, what is this? The King's final years? Thank God he died. You know, never fails. People call me when I'm on the live.
I don't know what's going on, but truck just got booted. Yeah, shout out to the chat, Three Fingers, Tommy, Seth, and everybody else that's watching from the bushes. Yeah, man, what's going on today? How y'all feeling? You know, what's the vibes? What is your frequency?
What's up, Tommy? Rogers? Sorry about that, Naga. Watch.
You're cool.
10 more people are gonna call. Ha! Look at this shit. Who remembers these watches? Look at this shit. Remember these watches?
Oh
Right?
yeah,
Had the little computer on them.
damn. How the
Ha!
fuck you find this motherfucker?
It shows on the side of the building where I live.
Yeah, it's an old school joint. But yeah, man, what's going on with the calendar, right? What's going on with the calendar, man? You know, have we ever think, about, the way we divide, uh, the way we manage our calendar, keeps us off balance? Does anybody uh realize that, or is it just me?
What?
The calendar. Is it just me that realize that the
Hold on,
calendar?
I'm not muted. Hold on, I'm showing my neighbor how to get to my YouTube.
Okay.
But go ahead, Naga. You can talk about whatever.
Nah, yeah, I was just saying the calendar, man. Is it me, or does anybody else realize that the calendar keep us off balance, when it comes to how we manage, our time, right? Why is it 365 days in a year, right? Uh why is it 7 days a week? Why do we have 7 days? I mean 7 months that have 34 days? Why do we have 4 months with 30 days? Why do we only have 1 month, with 28 or 29 days? Like I question, things like that, you know, and when you really look at it, it's a form of
Yeah, even my neighbor knocker said, "Damn, I remember them watches. Yeah, I remember this shit in middle school. Everyone wanted one of these."
I
I was
had
like
me one.
12.
I remember when I had me one of them joints. You couldn't
Yeah.
get me to stop looking at my wrist.
So yeah, everyone I talk to is saying it. You know what's wild? Like the people that work for the state told my try to tell me to my face because my roommate has workers and stuff. I don't. But I'm like, how can someone raise their rent $1,000? Right? Listen, I got friends that own property, and they're telling me it's not legal. But these people that work for, they'll lie to your face because most poor people are just gonna let it go, right, and not say nothing. But they've stumbled upon an intelligent poor person. I mean, fucked up. They're just pushing people out of here. That's what they want. That's what scam lords do.
Oh, yo,
Uh-oh.
Charles, did you get the pictures I sent you yesterday?
No.
No.
Send them again.
Yeah, I'm finna send you some
Send them
pictures,
again.
man. Yeah, I'm finna do this right now.
Yeah, I'm planning on coming to New York in the probably next month or so. I gotta call my boy's father in the Bronx somehow.
Nah, we definitely link, bro, and and do a video, do a live or something.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Brooklyn. I want to
Yeah.
see Sean Price mural. I want to see his mural, Sean Price. He's one of my favorite rappers growing up. And then I want to see Old Dirty Bastard's mural. Take a picture in front of it. Big Pun. Damn, who else? Fuck Biggie. Nah, Biggie's nice. Don't get me wrong. But he's not in my top 5. No disrespect to the Biggity Big. But he's nice. Don't get me wrong. He's nice. But what fucks him up, dude, I don't like Shit Daddy at all. I don't like Puffy. I never did. I never liked that clown. I would
Shout out to
never want
Jared.
that guy around me. He's
Shout out
so
to
gay.
shout out to Jared.
Jared. What's up,
Yeah.
Jared? Jaguar? Shit. A lot of rappers
Charles,
today, I'm better than them. Huh?
did you get the pictures?
Oh, hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Once I seen these, when I was looking at, the Nile River, you know, I was looking, lower and upper Egypt, and I was looking at the Nile River, how the Nile River, split lower and upper Egypt, right, into half, or into, how it split it into two different parts. And then I thought about Haiti and Dominican Republic. I'm like, hold up. Like I remember, that same, right? I remember that same river, that same river system, you know, that flow, that split, Haiti and Dominican Republic. That's what they use, you know, as the borderline. It's literally a river, that flow, from the top, from the north to the south, right? And they use that river as a borderline. And I'm
Dang.
like,
Yeah, I got him. Um, let me see if I downloaded them. It was the Nile River. You know,
Yeah.
this whole thing about the Nile River and the Bible, all they're doing is playing it out, and people believe that. Let me take these echoes off. People truly believe that it's happening. All they got to do is play out what they say was going to happen. It's simple
Well,
as that.
I beg. Look. This is what I look. This is how I looked at it, right? There was a story I was reading about God and the devil. I forgot where I was reading that story from, right? Where the devil basically, told God, that
Oh, my bad, Naga. My bad. I thought that was the Nile River. Oh, my bad. That's
it
in
is.
Haiti and Dominican. That's what that river divides Haiti and Dominican.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
the river. To me, that right there is motherfucking is supposed to be where the Red Sea was at. That right
My
there is
my
supposed to be the
friend that
Red
works
Sea.
at the store over here, Naga's from Dominican. He's got property there and stuff. And I asked him, I said, why doesn't Dominican help Haiti, man? You guys are fucking neighbors. Why you guys hate each other and go to war with each other? I said, you guys should look out for each other. And I told my friend, I said, Haitians were there first. You guys were, came after the fact, you know. But yeah, Dominican don't have it that much better, but they got it better. And
Well,
they should
well,
be wanting to help Haiti.
well. I would say this though. You know,
Huh?
I would say this, bro. Listen, both Haitians and Dominican Republic in the Dominicans, is new to the land. You had the original people of the land is the Tainos, right? Is the Tainos, the Caribs, and the Arawak people, right? These are the original people of original inhabitant of the islands, right? So the Haitians and the Dominicans, came by the way of the French and the Spaniards, right? That's how they came. They came by the way of the French and the Spaniards, and these people been fighting, ever since they've been fighting, to take control of the island. That's not even theirs. So
Of course.
it's the Tainos people, like I said, the Arawak people and the Caribs people.
Wait. The Tainos people.
Yeah,
Wow. Hold on. The Tainos. Look, I heard Gorilla Nem say that he's got Tainos blood in his veins. I just
yeah,
heard him say that in one of his new albums. I think it was the last one. Gorilla Nems. That's Spanish, I guess. That tribe.
yeah, bro.
I don't.
Yeah. So that
Those
that's that's
those are who the Spaniards came along and graped. Not all of them. Allegedly,
well,
that's what happened.
not just them. Not just the Spanian. The Spanian, raped them. The French raped them. Then you had the Africans also.
People are
Yeah.
savage.
But look, I take this picture because I'm comparing it to Egypt, right? Because I sent you two. Look at the other one. The other one,
Yeah, I
we
tried to
say,
download that one. It wouldn't do it for some reason.
yeah,
Please respect the copyright. Wow,
that's
these
the
people are getting petty.
that's the comparison I'm making. I'm basically saying that Haiti is Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Dominican Republic and Haiti is lower and upper Egypt.
Mm. I'm gonna look
And
up
then and then
right
and
now.
then and the part that I'm agreeing with you, I think what's happening, these people took, these foreigners, they took these people's story, and they're replaying it, you know, they're replaying it, uh, in a whole nother side of the earth. They're trying to get these people to follow the story.
Well, I think the U.S. is mad at Haiti, like we talked about before. That's why they took out their general, their leader, who told, I have much respect for him if it's true, where he told him to go fuck yourself. Basically, he's not poisoning his people. People gotta. It pisses me off when people tell me America's the greatest country in the world. That's when they're doing good. People say that. But if they move the fucking curtain out the way, we're not doing good. We're being poisoned. And that's not to count how America went to Africa and all these other countries and did experiments allegedly on them. Allegedly, I'll say. But you could read about this on Schmoogle or any other platform. But yeah. So I don't know. It's frustrating. I'm
Yeah,
looking at
bro.
Haiti right
Haiti,
now, and they're really not talking much about it. That's another thing. They cover it up. They don't want to speak the truth.
and look, that's another thing, right? How is that right? Egypt was so big of a civilization, right? That when the European right when the Europeans went into the voyage, right? Christopher Columbus, why wasn't Christopher Columbus looking for Egypt, right? Why wasn't he looking for Egypt if Egypt was the greatest civilization, you know, uh, right, ever? Why wouldn't Christopher Columbus look for uh Egypt? Why would he be looking for India? Why would he be looking for a way to go to India? Right? Because India is basically in the West Indies and Egypt is Haiti. So from the
Hmm.
get go, right? Christopher Columbus wanted to go. He wanted to go to Haiti. Is the reason why he landed in so supposedly he landed in the Barbados, right?
Some people
But
said that Columbus was a Moor. Oh shit! I don't know how true that is.
now he was with the Moors, but he wasn't a Moor himself. But look though, why
Maybe he
was
was a
he?
Mormon.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, right. The story is, why did he land right in the Barbados? He didn't do nothing in Barbados. He went to Cuba. He
All
didn't do
right.
nothing in Cuba. Then when he get to Haiti, he went to Mont Saint Nicolas. He went to Mont Saint Nicolas, right? And that's when he basically planted the cross. So during his whole voyage, right? He had a cross in his boat, and he didn't plant the cross anywhere else, but he planted the cross in Haiti, right? And he called the place La Navidad, meaning the nativity,
What's good,
right?
mind's eye? Peace. It's good to see you here, man.
So why you think he did that, Chuck?
I don't know. Like personally, I I have my suspicion about Columbus throwing that W up along with Hitler and a lot of other so-called people in our history. Um, it's suspicious to me that a lot of people, they say, like, you got Columbus, Hitler, Mother Mary, all these so-called icons in his story are having that W with their hand gesture. Um,
It
and
represent
then
West.
and then I hear they never existed, that Columbus is fake, and then you find out religion is made up to a certain extent. So I start to wonder.
It's West.
And
That W is West.
and
Period.
another thing, they're always putting a war in our face. They want us to always be at war with ourselves, and they want us to be at war with others because they know unity is powerful. When people come together, they're more powerful than solo in certain situations. But listen to this. It says, I'm reading about Haiti. It says Haiti needs a full UN mission, right? They're trying to get the United Nations in there, authorized by the Security Council, that can restore basic security and support efforts. Haitian efforts to protect the population, deliver humanitarian. That they're starving people over there purposely. They're starving them out. So then, when they're starving, they have no choice but to go to these government places and get jabbed up, man. That's their main goal. They're probably poisoning the water, as they've done in many other places. So then people are sick and they believe they need to get the jabba jabba. These people
Nah, bro, he ain't got nothing.
are
He
evil,
ain't got
man.
ain't nothing like that going on. Of course, they're gonna be casualty, right? When it comes to war, right? So listen, bro. The Haitian people have a good, right, understanding that, right? These people trying to, they're trying to, take control of Haiti. Listen, that's just the Haitian, bro. The Haitian know that they have a good
Listen
understanding
right
that
here.
this. So listen, though,
Now
they
go ahead
have
and
a good.
finish, man. Listen to this, Naga, when you're done.
Yeah, so they have a good understanding that these people just want the land. So, and it's war. These people is like, yo, we're not giving up the land. You feel me? We got the land. We're not giving up the land. So you're gonna have to get it on our blood. So now that's what's going. That's basically what's going on. All the starving, all the the shit that the fancy shit that you see that they're writing about, right? Is to let you know that is war, right? Because
Mm.
as long as they keep painting it, is into in the name of something else, you would never look at it for what it is, which is war. You know, it's what it is, bro. It's war.
It says, some American policymakers appear focused on addressing the Haitian crisis by seeking to prevent Haitians from fleeing rights abuses. Huh. And what the hell? Interdicting. I don't know. Them at sea. I don't know what that word means. Interdicting them at sea. Blocking them from assessing asylum in the U.S. Terminating humanitarian parole and refugee resettlement and moving up the date to end temporary protection for Haitians now in the U.S. This approach is legally problematic, morally bankrupt. Hold on, where's that part there? Blaming. Oh, here it is. It it also fails to recognize that having a country largely controlled by criminal groups only 700 miles away from the American shores will inevitably affect the U.S. interest. See, they're always talking about terrorist threats and like they're always worried about people in other countries instead of worrying about our own country. And they're blaming the guns are coming from the U.S. to fuel Haiti's war.
Well, the guns are really coming from Israel. Of
Yeah,
course,
I bet.
of
And
course,
and
it's through
Mexico.
it's through the helps of the U.S. The United States, right? Because everybody secret the United States is in bed with with Israel.
Of course.
So
Israel's
they
got Trump by the balls. You know, Trump sleeps with those children, man.
Bro, I was in New Jersey, bro, and I stopped to get some gas, you know, and the guy asked me cause I was talking Creole to my cousin, and the guy asked me, yo, where you from? I'm like, oh, we Haitians, we from Haiti, and he started laughing. He was like, yo, did you know that we giving your guns, to kill, to basically, we giving your guns, to do what you're doing in Haiti, and I was
Of
like,
course
yeah,
they
yeah,
are.
you know that.
I
And he
hate to
from
say it,
Israel.
but
And he told
the Jewish people, you know, it's not just them. There's many that are grouped together, but
no, we have these people
Israel,
in Haiti, bro. Listen, bro, we have these people. Remember yesterday I was telling you, we have Jewish people in Haiti. We have Germans in Haiti. We have Italians in Haiti. We have,
well, they're truly
French.
Haitian, like we
Yes,
were
they
talking about.
right. They are Haitians. And you have to
Yeah,
understand, Haitian is not our
I
identity.
respect that.
It's not our identity. It's a political, agenda.
Hmm.
It's not the being a Haitian is not ain't
What's
got
up,
nothing
Face
to do
Plant? I
ain't
mean,
got nothing to
Canada.
do with your identity. So these people are
Well,
Haitian.
just like in Jamaica, there's this so-called white dude that speaks Jamaican. He has a heavy accent. He was born there, and he lives there. He was raised there. And people be like, "Oh, you're a fake Jamaican." Ba ba ba. You know. And the guy says, "Explain to me what a Jamaican looks like." And people are stereotypical in the U.S. Man, we're raised to always look at things in a black and white aspect. Man, I hated that shit growing up. Because I just looked at people as people until I started going to school, and they force you to look at things as a black and white. And as you get older, it becomes more and more racial. But when you're a child, no one looks at that shit. So that says a lot that we're fucking mentally brainwashed. Even parents do it to the children. Those white people are no good, and vice versa. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean,
Sometimes
bro,
I
it's
wonder,
all.
Naga. I think about the past, and I wonder. I personally don't think there's always been war until these religions started conquering. Because living in it's so easy to make it so people aren't starving or homeless. It's when these people started buying the land up and claiming it and saying it's mine, I bought it. That's when shit started going downhill for
Now
people.
the problem is shit starting to go down here when these people start to go around and messed up, the on the
That's what I'm saying.
on and messed up the uninhabited land. I'm
That's
not
what I'm
uninhabited,
saying.
the uncivilized land. That's what these people would
The
do. These people
Indians
will
should
go
have
around.
shot him in their face.
They
You
will go
know.
around in their airplanes, and they'll pollute it. These all the uncivilized
That's
land.
what I'm saying, Naga. So they did in Africa. They would, and that's what they did to the Indians. I'll say Indians, but it was many different tribes that were here. To the tribes, I'll say they did it to the tribes in America. They would poison it up river. It would go because they knew where people would get water and use the water to drink for the camp or their tribe. So they would poison it and they would get sick.
Look at the land, bro. Look at Haiti, bro. Look at what they did to the land in Haiti, bro. The land is
I know. I
damn
was
near.
looking at pictures. It's terrible looking. It looks like a
The,
war.
it's
Just
barely
wiped
no
it out.
trees, bro. When you're looking at Haiti, bro, it's barely no grass, no trees, bro. It's damn near like a motherfucking desert, bro. You gotta go to the countryside, bro. The city is
Haiti
pressing, bro.
needed to kick out all these people and just I don't know, man. Claiming land is what is tearing this fucking. The governments make life worse, man. That's my opinion. Um,
And
I
like
don't
I
know.
said,
We
bro,
let
I don't think.
the wrong people are running the show. The wrong fucking people. They're for their self and no one else. Whenever they say they're gonna do this and do that to help, I automatically know it's a fucking lie.
Bro, this is why you had the serpent and the dragon. This is why these people curse the serpent and the dragon, because the serpent gonna come and he's gonna resonate with you, right?
Let's
The
look at these
serpent gonna
dragons.
come. The serpent gonna come. He's gonna resonate with you. He's gonna have a civilized conversation with you. And when you disrespect the serpent, that's when the dragon come. The dragon gonna smack you up. He don't wanna hear nothing. He don't wanna talk about nothing. He just gonna snap you. Slap
Man,
you up. He
I'll
just gonna
fucking
burn you.
smack a fucking dragon in its neck.
Who?
I said, I'll smack a dragon in its neck.
Nigga, you the dragon. How you gonna snap the dragon in his neck if you're the dragon?
Like this.
You're the dragon, bro. You smacking yourself. That's what I'm saying. That's why they cursed it. You're the serpent, you're the dragon, and they cursed both of that. And now you're looking to, for a way, to eliminate yourself. Period. If you could eliminate yourself, what's the best way to eliminate the threat? If the threat can eliminate itself, right? So
Yeah.
of course, they're gonna tell you, man, oh, the snake, the serpent is evil, but the whole time you have the kundalini energy in you.
Yeah. I know what the serpent. Serpent means many different things, but what it originally meant was, you know, the energy. The serpent is the sine wave.
A
Polarities are
serpent is a
interwoven.
servant. A serpent is a servant. Period. The serpent serve. Look at the hospital, right? Look at how they use the hospital, right,
Oh
to serve the
man,
patient.
hospitals are terrible.
Look at how they use. Look at how they use the snake in medicine, right, in traditional medicine, right. So when it comes to the serpent is a servant.
Man. So I've always wondered about these dragons. Um on what's her Michelle Gibson's channel, there's a guy from Scotland. I showed the picture a few live streams ago. And they seem to think dragons really existed. I think the dragon symbolizes many things, and I think they might have existed. And because I'm looking now at the Renaissance, and I've seen tons of symbolism where they're killing the dragon. Now it could mean many things. The dragon could also symbolize the same as the serpent, meaning energy and stuff. And if that's the case, if they're killing the dragon within ourselves, that means they're killing us, basically.
They're killing
Yeah,
us because
right.
the dragon symbolize your solar plex, right? The dragons symbolize your solar plex. You know, your sun. You know, your fire. You know, the fire that's burning in you, that's keeping you. You know, that's keeping you alive. And it's that same fire. You know, right? That's gonna protect. You know, that's gonna protect itself, right? When the fire come
Saint
out,
George and the
right?
dragon. Come
So you
on,
don't
Puma,
want to
go
tap
down.
into that fire. You know,
No, no, my bad. I was telling my cat to go lay down. She's freaking rubbing my feet.
oh yeah, but yeah, bro, the dragon, is you bringing that fire out. We can burn everything around you, nigga. Right? So they don't want that to happen, right? So they want you to kill that dragon. They want you to eliminate that threat.
Yeah, the inner dragon,
But
that
that's what
chi
it is. It
energy.
symbolizes that. Yeah, it symbolizes that fiery energy in you. You know, that energy that wanna make you like, you could explode and at any minute, you could be like, what? Like, man, I burned this whole shit. Man, I tear this shit down. Stop playing with me. Right? That's that fire. That's that dragon in you. But you gotta tame that
Brooklyn
dragon.
Zoo.
You gotta tame you gotta tame that dragon. Once you tame your dragon, it become your pet. It become your pet that flying you around in that movie Avatar. What's that animal
Yeah,
that
Avatar, man. That shit damn near had me crying at one point. I ain't even gonna lie, man. It had me upset. It
is it
had
is
me
it
wanting
that,
to fuck shit up, man.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, well, even the Dragon Ball Z, right? They when they that's what the
Dragon
dragon is
Balls.
about. Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Damn,
The
I
Dragon
hear
Ball
echo.
Z, bro. That's what you are. You're a dragon. You're a
Damn, why
Dragon
is it?
Balls. You're a Dragon Balls. That's
Dude,
why you have two balls. Pause.
let me see. Is it still echoing? Nope, I fixed it. Yeah, there's a lot of dragon symbolism on these buildings. Remember, I was showing all over the world,
Yeah.
and that makes me wonder
The
a lot of
ancestors
things.
knew. The ancestors knew we were a dragon. We tap into that energy. That's how we able to
It's that inner
harness
chi,
electricity.
man.
That's how we able to harness electricity, and we tap into the serpent energy, and that's how we able to harness uh magnetic, the magnetic field that we create, for the electricity to travel to, or for the electricity, to build the grid. So magnet and electricity or electromagnet magnet is like, is the dragon and the serpent. When you marry both of them together, you get electromagnetic.
Hmm. Wow. got some pictures of dragons. Dragging Ballsy. What's up, Mind's Eye? You want to come up? Are you busy?
That's what you are, bro. You're a dragon. You dragging your balls wherever you go, bro.
Hell yeah. That's that elephantitis.
Shout out to Mazai in the chat. Mark Basket, Tommy, they got Ready Jared, Kenneth Dummy. What up, Dummy? I ain't from Baltimore, but I'm gonna call you Dummy today. Dummy. Uh,
Man. Man. You know what I see a lot in hip hop now? A lot of gay shit, man. And when I look and back in the days, it's always been in our face. It's fucking crazy, man.
Bro, that's how you destroy the fucking dragon. That's how you kill the dragon, bro.
That's
You
how you
know,
kill your manhood.
which is the
Same
dragon.
thing.
Which is the
Yeah.
dragon. You have to understand the fire, right? The fire that the dragon, put out is not the fire that you think. The fire it put out is pure electricity.
Yeah.
We call the
The
plasma,
serpent
right?
energy.
Is what we call plasmic,
Ooh.
plasma or something like that, right? So is or what we call it sperm, right? That's what we call.
Sperm?
Yeah,
That's
we
the
call it sperm.
dragon, your sperm.
Yeah, the sperm is the fire. So when you see when these people are turning gay, they are killing your fire. They're putting the fire out, and eventually the dragon will that fire will consume the dragon.
Man, I like China because China's about that inner chi, that inner dragon, that chi energy, which is you're good and you're bad.
That's
Whatever.
why the Chinese people they're so explosive
I'm gonna fuck
physically.
my cat up.
Yeah, that's why the
Yeah.
Chinese people are so explosive physically when it comes to martial arts, right? When it comes to martial arts, Chinese people are the most explosive people, right? Because
Martial arts is dope.
they are tapping into that dragon, that draconic energy that's inside of them.
Yeah. That's why Drake, I said Drake, Dragon, Draco, Draconian, it's all the same.
Yeah. Why you think they call a gun a Draco?
Mm-hmm.
Because that shit will burn your ass.
When I say Land of the Giants, Ice Wall, Patagonian, if people were smart, they would say Ice Wall, Patagonia. They would look Patagonia up and realize it's in South America near the so-called ice wall, right? Now, I'm starting to think there is no ice wall. There's just land that just keeps going. And
Nah, but there
I,
is an ice wall.
I would love
In
to,
fact,
well, not all the
I
way
think that
around. I don't think it goes all the way around.
I think the ice wall is a generator. That's my thing. What
Could
all
be.
is I call it a freezer, but I think it's a generator that's basically generating winter. Like it's generating the winter around. Like
Do you,
every year, the generator turn on and it generate winter, and then it shut off. That's how I'm
Peace
looking
to
at it.
Seth.
Yes.
Seth Wildenberg.
What you think about that, bro? You think about that, Charles? Do you think it
All
can be,
right, my God.
do you think the ice wall can be, a generator that's basically
I've thought
generating
about
winter?
that. I've thought about like I've thought about if it because I look at these maps and there wasn't always winter, so I'm like,
Yeah.
what happened? Did these people create this
People call me
cold?
pseudo, bro.
All
People call me
right,
pseudo, bro, when I say this, bro. I tell people, yo, I think winter is something that they created. I think it's something that these aliens bring with them. I think the planet these aliens come from is a cold planet. Right?
Mm.
It's a icy planet, right? Think about it, right?
Yeah,
Everything is
they can't be in the sun.
if everything is symmetrical, right? If everything is symmetrical, even the earth, that means that there is a part of the earth, or that means that there is a mirror earth, that doesn't have the sun, that's not tropical, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. So it will make sense that there is another earth that's just not tropical, period. And I think these people, these beings that come from that earth, they bring the technology with them, right? Look at it, right? Over here, right? Uh we basically mimic nature over here. We recreated electricity. We recreated magnetic ley lines and all that, right? Because we understand the planet that we live in. It will make sense that these people understand the planet that they live in and do the same thing too. So when they came here with their technology because they know, if they are cold people, right? If they are cold people, right? If they are people that basically, uh 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 that's basically that they can't live in a hot area. So if they are coming to a hot planet, they will basically bring, the technology to keep them cold. Just like, people go to space. When they go to space, so called, right? Quote unquote, so called go to space. They go to space with a technology that's gonna be able to keep them up there, right? Right or wrong. They don't go to space with no technology, right? Because they know space is a
I
different.
think they're going underwater. That's why they
No, no, no,
train
no.
underwater.
I agree. No, I agree. I'm just basically going on
No.
on what they're showing you. They're showing you that they basically tell you that space is a different planet, right? And whenever they show you that they're going to space, they go with enough equipment, that's gonna keep them alive in that planet because they understand that planet is not, suitable, is not compatible with them. So I'm using the same logic to say that, all right, when these people was coming here to this planet we call Earth, they already understand that they wasn't compatible with this planet, so they had to bring the technology to make them compatible with this planet. And I think that's where winter come into place.
Man, I was bugging. I downloaded these pictures, right? And
Hmm.
I'm like, where did they go? I couldn't find them. These dragons.
And that's another thing too, bro. You mentioned the W earlier. The W can be for winter too.
Huh. I was thinking, man, I thought for a long time with that fucking W, man. It's in so many different things. I'll show you. Hold on. Oops.
And when you see winter, you see we enter, right? When you see winter, you see we enter.
Winter is like a
Who is
splinter.
we? Who is we? And what is it that we enter?
I have no clue.
You see?
But I know one thing. If we ain't careful, we're already fucked, man.
Yeah, we already. Shit, we've been fucked, and now
Um,
we've been
oh yeah,
fucked too.
Christopher. Let's pull up Christopher. Let's pull him up. Oops.
And
Christopher.
why is the name Christopher start with Christ?
I don't know.
Christ offer Christopher is Christ offer? Is the Christ offer is the Christ that they're trying to offer us? Is it? Is Christopher Columbus is the Christ that they're offering us?
Columbus is a bum. I think he didn't exist. He's an ugly dude too.
I mean, hold on. Which one? Which one didn't exist? Christopher Columbus or
Yeah.
Jesus Christ or Christ?
Well,
Because Christopher Columbus can be Christ. I mean, at the end of the day, he is. I mean, Christopher Columbus represent the same thing Christ represent. Christopher Columbus split the old world and the new world, right?
mm,
And Jesus did the same thing. He split the timeline, AD and BC.
yeah,
So
AI.
both of them
AI
is the
is just a
mediator.
know-it-all. All AI does is gather information from the internet. When you ask it questions, that's it. It's not like you're talking to an actual being, like an individual.
Nah,
That's what I
I think
say.
AI is more than that, bro. I think
I
AI.
don't.
I think the internet, bro. The internet is metaphysical.
This
It's
guy
just
said
like
it
the
was a demon and shit because they're just trying to instill fear in people.
internet is just like the so-called afterlife, or it's so basically so-called
Maybe.
it's like the underworld, right? I would say the internet and the underworld merge together. So
That would
that's
suck.
my thing. So I think I think the spirits can get to the internet. And I think they've been doing it. I think that the spirits been tapped into the internet and spirits been communicating to people.
Damn, where's this Hitler picture? Dang, they
And
got
I think
Hitler throwing up. They got Hitler throwing up the Rockefeller Triangle. That's bugged out. That's a real picture too.
I
Hmm.
think that's what the I think that's why the government is basically scared right now. I think when they basically
Boy,
I
where's
think
boy? My
I
bad,
think
Naga.
I think when the government discovered the internet, they thought that it was something that they could just use to manipulate the people or to use to their advantage, but they realized that they are being used also, by the internet because there is an unseen hand, dealing with the internet. That's my thing, and I think that's dealing with spirits. I mean, you can't see spirit, you can't see the internet. How would you know? Right? You can't see this. You can't see spirit. You can't see the internet. How would you know if they're interacting with each other? Right? You wouldn't know unless you can really see spirit. The guy is here years ago, but this is only. But this is time.
Uh oh. Even Jesus got the W hand.
Who
He's
or what?
down.
Who
West Side.
tapping into
Oops. What's
tarot
up, Dom?
or channeling?
I thought someone said Void was here.
Yeah, I seen somebody say something about him earlier.
What's
Oh,
up, Void?
Dom,
If you're
Dom,
here.
I think they're tapping into spirit, Dom. I think they are tapping into spirit. Period. When these people, using tarot, or when they are, like you said, channeling. Period. I think channeling, you know, is basically channeling. you know, that's why I was be saying that with the internet. I think when you channeling spirits is basically the same thing when you channeling, your TV stations, right? You're channeling your TV station, to see what's going on, to either to get to the news or to get to, entertainment or, whatever the case may be. you're channeling your TV station. It's the same thing, these people are doing, with their tarot, or how and tarot is just one way of tapping in, right? It's multiple ways, you could tap into the spirit realms. So you have the link. I have a few questions if that is possible. Charles, somebody need the link in the chat.
Who's Boji?
Yeah, I know. Even the energy of Reiki or laying of hands.
I think I know who Boji is.
Boji 2.2.
These people got like 17 accounts.
So do you think, Charles, do you think that these people reenacting the story that was already told? Like, do you think that when these people came here and they heard of the story, well, not they heard, when these people, because they came here because they obviously heard the stories of this place, and when they came here and they see, uh, what the stories was told is true, and they start to reenacting the story to basically control the people.
Yeah, that is a very strong possibility, because religion was rewritten so many times, and it's definitely used to control the people for sure. If people were taught these stories, what's with this interference? Hold on. Oh, what am I doing? All I got to do is this. Boop. Boop. Anyway, yeah, they're definitely using it to control people, and it's working. It works for sure.
I think it's working for a certain amount of time, you know. But I think and that's why they always have a reset, right? They always have a reset, because they understand that they see that, all right, the play, but to be exposed. So the play have to be exposed. So we have to go to the drawing board, you know, and we have to shuffle the cards, and come up with a different hand. And I think, you get to a point that where, the people already know that's what's been happening. Like, they've been trying, they've been, they keep on going to the drawing board, you know, and come up with a different hand, but it's the same cards. It's the same 52 decks. I mean, 52, cards, in the deck. It's the same 52 year, and I mean 52 month. It's the same 52 weeks in a year. It's the same 12 year in a month, and 12 months in a year. It's the same 4 weeks, in a month, right? It's the same 7 days, you know. So it gets to a point there where we're like, man, all right, we map this thing out. We compare and contrast and know that, man, this is our shit. These people took our shit and they republished it. That's where the term republic come from. Republic, the term republic come from, the term republish, so these people republishing your story in the name of republicans.
All right. Now I'm pulling these pictures up. Man, such a process. But
Yeah, Dom, that's what I was talking about earlier, the calendar, man. I think the calendar is a big aspect of keeping you off balance, or like you can never be on track because you don't know where the
of
track is
course
at.
not. That's why they hide who we are, where we are, why we're here. Believe it or not, I sit in silence and just talk to myself. And believe it or not, I get more answers than looking it up on Google and talking to other people. People could laugh and say it's bullshit. That's because they haven't done it or tried,
Man,
or they
that's what I
just
was
don't
telling
know
some.
themselves.
That's what I was telling somebody last night. I done went and got my inner child, and my inner child is so. My inner child surprised me every time. The question he asks, and I'm like, damn, you been wanting to ask that question your whole life, ain't you? I got an answer for you. Let's talk about it. That's what I do. Cause when I used to be when I was a kid, I used to ask, I used to question everything, you know. And once I realized that, people didn't give a fuck about, my question, about my curiosity. So, I just went into my shell. But, growing up, nigga, I realized like, hold up, I start meeting people that's, thinking about the same thing. I ran into HOTC, everybody. I'm like, oh, hold up, man. Like, hold on. Like I've been, let me take this shit out.
I'm trying
And
to
ever
get
since,
signed to HOTC Records, man. I'm gonna be the first Cracker Jack on HOTC Records. I'm joking, but
but
no,
yeah,
seriously,
that's what I was
I'm gonna
saying, man.
sign with HOTC Records, Sir Drop record label.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, we should do that. That's a good idea, bro. We should make HOTC a record label, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's a good idea. But at the end of the day, when it comes to HOTC, somebody just gotta do it. Whatever idea you have, because HOTC, is people having their own mind come together, you know, and flock together. So whoever have the idea, you're just gonna have to do it, and people will support you.
You guys looking
So
at these dragons? These fucking these. A lot of these are from Germany.
mhm.
This is Germany. There's dragons everywhere. Like this one. I wonder if birds live in the mouth. That would be dope. This China.
You know why
Ching
they you
chong.
know You know why these dragons are in these and more you find these dragons more in these places like China, like Europe, because these were the most uh I should
Dragons
say,
were.
yeah, this where the most dragons people were. And the other part you had the snake people. You had people that more
Yeah, in South
resonate with them.
America and
Yeah.
and Haiti and stuff. There's a lot of serpent people.
Yeah, you
In
had people,
India too,
yeah. That
and
that's
America.
yeah.
Forgot to say that.
Yeah. America too had dragon and snakes.
Mm. See, this is what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. And I used to, the crew I created and my friend, we had our own crew. Like, um, we were just like a family, but we would throw the W up just like that, but the finger, like the West Coast W. And all along, I never knew we're throwing up fucking these people sign.
no, you not. It's not, bro. Hey, listen. Everything is being discovered, right? Everything was already here. Don't nobody create. How can you create a symbol, right? You just realize you could make the symbol, but you didn't create it. I'm talking about, for the so-called people that talk about they create shit, right? We have to understand there's only one creator, right? And that one creator is life, right? I'm not life, but I'm a part of life, so I'm alive, right? But I'm not life itself, right? I'm a part of it, and life is the only creator. Everything we see in life was created by life. Without life, nothing else was created. This is what the Bible mean by through Him everything was created,
Yeah,
and
but
without Him
the
nothing was
creator
created.
can't exist without a creation. Just like a mother can't exist without a child. She can't be a mother if there's no children.
Where is that concept come from? Who told you that?
Well, no one told me it. I heard it from this guy named Sanchez
But that's what I'm
a few
talking
weeks
about, bro.
ago. I was watching this video, and he had said, "Hold on, do I still have the video, or I erased it? I think I might have gotten rid of it because my phone's running out of memory. Let's see, do I still have it?
But look, though, now I get what you're saying, bro. I was just, provoking your thoughts, right?
Oh, here it
I,
is.
I was just provoking your thoughts, to trigger you, to start thinking, to understand that. Look, that that saying, is the same people, right? That want to tell us that, uh, God, right, created itself, or God doesn't have a creator. God is the one that create everything, right? But it's the same people that's gonna turn around, right? When you have your own narrative, right, of how life, right, come into existence without any creator, they question you on that, right? They question, they were like, oh well, life can't, life can't create itself, something had to create it. But when it comes to their God, right, they want you to believe that nothing create their God, right? So is it's a manipulation tactic, to have you following, right, to have you agreeing, or to have you supporting, fit into what they got going on, and never your own. You always get the weekend of, the stake, right? So I'm saying this to say that I think life itself is intelligence. I think life is intelligence, and intelligence is behind everything, right? Intelligence is behind everything, right?
See, I don't like these pictures.
What you mean? I know people. Like, I know somebody. Like I've seen. I'm not saying I know. I've seen
No, I know
somebody.
there's people in the womb that their heads were fused together. They never separated in the womb. Yeah, but I've never seen no bones this big. No, I'm not saying it isn't possible, but if so, they done a good job to hide it. And I do think there were people, huge titans, um, just through some of the footage I seen of these people going underground, where the water was flowing. It literally looked like they were walking through a titan's intestines. I'm going to start the next time I go live, I'm going to have footage of these people that are going underground and the link to their channel, so people who are interested in stuff like that can watch. I mean, these guys have rope and they go underground deep, and you could even see for yourselves that even the walls are way too level to be made by nature. That these things, I think, were buildings or castles that went way underground.
Yeah, man. I just can't see how people don't. How people can see like that. Life is the originator of everything. What is beyond life, right? What can you put beyond life, right? What can't you put beyond that? A lot of people we know, we say existence, but existence, is within life, is within life, period, right? If you can think about it, it's a part of life. It's because you're alive, that's why you can think about it. So to me, there is nothing beyond life. Life is the uh, umbrella for everything. And this is even why when Jesus, he was saying that I am the way, the truth, and the life.
What
You
do you
know,
think about this? I wanted to ask you. I downloaded this to ask anyone Even Truth Zone, I wanted to ask, or Sir Drop, or Mind's Eye, or
What about it?
do you think? I think this is factual, and how they do it is when they're young, they wrap a tribal band around their skull, and it creates the skeleton. I mean, the skull to. It's sort of like you could train any bone when you're a child to grow a certain way if you train it. I think the Japanese used to do it to young women's feet so they could fit in these certain shoes. It was diabolical, but I think that's how they did this with the cranium. Because I've seen something on it, but I don't know how true it is. It was on the Discovery Channel, and we already know we can't trust them 100%. They were showing how now either they could be saying that to cover up a certain genetics in a certain tribe that, where these people have a bigger brain, it's just what it is, and they're more intelligent. Maybe they have a bigger brain, and their genetics are different from ours. I think that I'm leaning more towards that, actually. That this is the way. I think, yes, you can train your skull to do that, but I think a lot of this is natural, and that's just their genetics.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you could train your bones, you can train your genetics. So, eventually, the next generation, is gonna be a part of their DNA. Your dad, your mom DNA gonna remember that. Your dad, your pop's DNA gonna remember that, and it's gonna be passed down to you. But it started with train, with basically, with certain, physical techniques that you do everything, that basically, do an impact on you. You have to do some type of physical type. You have to use some physical techniques, right? But yeah, I agree with you. I think these people train their skull to be that way. Even Haitian people, right? When Haitian people born, right? The babies, they roll your head, they roll your head a certain way because they say that, if they don't roll your head, if they don't massage your head a certain way, your head, can be uh out of shape. You know,
Hmm.
yeah, that's the Haitian. That's just the Haitian thing. So they'll, put the baby, and the grandmother normally do it. They put the baby in her robe, and she roll her head. She massage her head, a certain way, you know, and that's why they say. So that's why I think, that, it could be part of the tradition. That, for the reason that they're doing, but I don't think it has anything to do with like some type of creator. Like, man,
Hmm.
need to stop it. We need to stop this shit. Like, when we do our own shit, when we do certain things, and we tend to blame it on the creator. No, you
Yeah,
know.
that kills me. That kills me, man, when we blame the creator. But it's our problem. Or people want this savior to come solve their problems. You know, we, or not we, but yeah, we should get off our ass and fucking, do it, solve the problems our own self. What's up, Yahweh? What's up, Lucid?
How is that going to happen, Charles? You have to understand, bro. Uh, any movement that ever started and be successful in history started by a group of leaders. It didn't start by a group of peasants, or it didn't start by a group of
Well,
indoctrinated
that's
people.
how it's gonna happen, man.
That's how it always
But
happened in history. A group
yeah,
of
we're the leaders.
exactly, and ever since
What I've been
2015,
saying, bro. Damn. No.
ever since
No, seriously.
2015, I've been telling people, listen, you are the leader, bro. You over here talking about this, bro. How about me and you come together and do it? How
Yeah,
about us
we
to
need
get
we
into it?
need
And people,
white and black people to come together.
and guess what people tell you all the time, right? Guess
That's
what you find out
bullshit.
people tell you all the time. Hey man, we can't save everybody, man. You gotta save yourself, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. You mean to tell me you haven't saved yourself yet, and you talking about all this shit, gang? You talking about all this shit you haven't even saved yourself yet? All right, man. I don't need to. I don't even need to talk to you no more, man. Go save yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is, bro. And I'm like, man, all right. I don't even wanna, be, on that type of timeline where eventually people gonna realize that, I'm doing something, and people gonna be like, hey, yo, Naga, man, let me get your number. And we're
See,
gonna build outside of the internet, and we're gonna finally have something, or eventually I'm gonna see somebody doing something like, yo, bro, let me get your contact, bro. And we'll build, outside of this thing. But when it comes to the internet, everybody is trying to act, everybody is trying to put on a show. Nobody really wanna do what
I
nobody
hope
wanna.
you and Truth don't piece it up. I don't know what the situation is.
Nah, I'm
I don't
cool
even
with
know
you,
if you
bro.
guys have a problem with each other, but last time you guys were up here, I don't know. I thought you guys were cool and should be cool, but that's up to you guys.
Nah, bro, I'm
You
not. I don't
know?
got nothing with shoes on, gang. I'm telling, bro. That's how I am, bro. I'm a straightforward nigga, bro. I'm an honest nigga. I'm a straightforward. I'm not a fake nigga, bro. So I can't fake it with nobody. You know. Instead of me trying to fake it with you, I'm just gonna keep my distance, and not it look like I'm not fucking with you, but really I'm not faking it with you. But whenever you wanna be real, nigga, we'll be real together. Whenever you wanna be honest, we'll be honest. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you wanna be on some fake shit, I'm gonna give you your distance, bro. And right now, whether choose on wanna admit it, he on some fake ass shit right now. You know what I'm saying? He on some fake ass shit, bro. So I can't be fake it with him. I can't fake it with him. Remember the video I showed you when with Nikki Giovanni having the conversation with James Baldwin, you know, when she was telling like, man, can you like fake it with me? Is that too much for of a black woman to ask, of a black man? And I think that's too much of a black man to ask from another black man to fake it with you. You a grown ass man. And I'm just speaking it in general. In general, I shouldn't have to fake it with you, bro. You shouldn't be wanting me to keep it real with you. Yo, let's keep it real with me, gang. Because the world is already being fake with you already. It's too much fake shit going on in the world. Why would you want somebody else to keep being fake with you? You should be want somebody to be real with you, and that's the type of time I'm on. It's not that, bro. I can't have no beef with nobody. I mean, I can't afford to have beef with nobody. I can't afford to be on, have anything with nobody. I can't afford none of that. Like I said, I
What's
don't
up,
even
Dom?
have problem with people in real life. Why would I
And
go on
Yahweh.
the internet trying to create a problem with people?
Um, I just want to say we got Dominic and Yahweh's up here. Is this mural in Brooklyn? This is a new one.
What is that?
Somebody just, and I don't know. I know it's in New York. It's Sean Price from
Oh,
Help
that
the
looks like
Skelter.
yeah, I think I know what that's at. That's Utica Ave.
And this is the old one, but I think it got taken down.
Yeah, that's in Brooklyn and Utica Ave, if I'm not
You
mistaken.
see the Decepticon sign. I never knew what Decept. I never knew Decept was a big giant crew, and there's different branches of them. But anyway, what's up, Dom and Yahweh? How you doing today?
Great light.
Great light. I'm great in the light of powder, man.
hmm But yeah, man, until you realize that you're a leader, right? And you're going to, approach another leader like you and do something, this shit would never be done because, like I said, I've never seen a movement rise and be successful in history where it started by a group of indoctrinated people, or a group of oppressed people,
Oh
or a
yeah,
group of
I have.
whatever.
And
It's
if you got a group of indoctrinated people leading, they're gonna lead people astray. But the people they're leading astray ain't even gonna know it because they're indoctrinated too. You're just carrying on the parasite.
Why go to the corporation for revolution? Then?
Why go to a
mm,
corpse?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
corporation means a dead nation.
That's what I'm saying. So why
Yeah.
why stand up and rise? Why why stand up and face a corpse? Like, why don't you
Mm-hmm.
just go to the truth?
Dominic knows a lot
Like
about the corporation and stuff.
it's like a gorilla in captivity, and it
Hmm.
escapes or get out, and it goes downtown to revolt. Like,
Well, did you
why
ever
don't the
see a
gorilla just?
gorilla in captivity, Yahweh? And when they open the cage, it don't even want to leave anymore.
You know what I'm saying? So it would probably leave the cage and go downtown and petition, right?
yep. And they would be like, "Oh, here go the gorilla that escaped. Let's get that nigga back in the cage."
Glorilla?
Why don't they just go home, right? Why don't
Yeah.
to
Dom
be
wrote something
saved?
in the back. Let's
To
see.
be saved is to be remembered also. So people waiting on the rememberer, the one that love them, that remember them. When you in hate, you might not want to remember people or save people.
But that's an illusion though, because there is no love there. You know, so these people couldn't have loved you for real. You know, it was just
So
an
how can
illusion of love. So you
how can a
just
corporation save
Shit.
you, love you?
Dom's giving
Mhm.
me an idea, man. I want to have a chess tournament, just for fun, just to get the feel of it. And then the second go around, we could do it for a little bit of money. So, but it'll still be for fun. I'm rusty in chess, probably, but it's like riding a bike. I haven't played a game of chess in a while, just like spades. And I'm nice in spades. It took me a while to learn how to memorize the cards as they're played, but once I did that, I became a master spadesman.
this shit is not fun to y'all, man. This shit
What?
is fun to me. This shit is just like playing chess to me. This is just like
What?
playing spade to
Life?
me. No, I'm talking about being on the internet,
Oh,
spreading this information, right?
it's all right.
This awareness is just as fun as playing chess with for me.
Yeah, it's all right. Um, don't get me wrong, but it's been a while since it's been like a real good build.
Everybody running from Jesus though, like
From the truth.
or the with yeah,
I can't run from Jesus because I am Jesus.
yeah. If you running from the truth, you truly running.
Mm-hmm. Ha! Got him. But yeah,
I
you
You
guess
know they
can't.
put
when
those images and movies with it, so I guess it throw people off. I guess.
You've been running all your life, and you still can't find a place to hide. When are
Yeah,
you gonna
Yeah,
stop?
this cat's like Forrest Gump.
if you're hiding, you're truly hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Man, movies ain't as good as it. Who watched that Adam Sandler movie that just came out? That shit was terrible. Man, I like Adam Sandler. He's one of my favorite comedians in a lot of his movies. He's hilarious. But Yeah, the new Happy Gilmore, in my opinion, was not nowhere near as good. Now, what's up with that? Even when it comes to music, a lot of people's first albums are just super classic, and then after that, usually they don't match it. The only person to do that and that I've known is Nas or Ghostface or the Rolling Stones or Ozzy. You know, people do match their first albums, but
You
not
know
many.
why?
No. That's why I'm asking. No, I'm
The
fucking with you.
the first the first album, you know, was really they really put their all into it. You know, they really put their all in. You know, their heart was in it, right? And that once that happened for them, now it was all about
You're
the money
borging
now,
out bad,
right?
Naga, real bad.
I think that they are a product. Your voice messing up, man.
The
I
first
think they are.
impression.
Yeah,
That's a good one, Dom. The first impression. Yeah, the first impression is usually everything.
Well, it's
If you
last
give
and
someone a
foremost.
bad first
but
impression,
I'm
it's
telling
usually
you,
hard to come back from that.
They are a
But
product.
what's
I'm
being
telling you, bro,
impressed?
their heart is not in it no more, bro. Once they get the first album, they felt like, all right, I made it out the hood, I made it, whatever the case may be, their heart is not in it no more. Right? Now
Yeah,
it's all about the money now. It's all
that's
about
a
the
prodigy
fame now.
said
It's all about this,
in
it's all
his
about that.
verse. Yeah,
And that's why
prodigy said a fan told him that. Yeah, that's
yeah.
wild. You say
That's
that,
why
Naga.
that's why it doesn't sound the same no more, bro. Because you have to understand music, what made
They're not as
music so
hungry anymore.
impact what made music so impact is the emotion, is the expression of emotion, is the expression of feelings. When these people get that money, they don't got no feelings no more. They become numb to the world. They become numb to the people around them, to what's going on. So when you hear these songs, you're not hearing the emotion behind it. You can't feel it. There is no impact.
We're waiting on Dom to join the conversation.
No, I'm
Look
hearing
at
you
his
guys.
picture.
It will talk about.
Can you hear me, Charles?
Yeah.
Yeah, loud and
Okay.
clear.
So again, first impressions, lasting impression. What is actually being impressed upon? This is where most people get caught up in the upper brain and the heart. What goes to the heart, the blood. Now, if you want to learn about music, let alone mantras and all that, then you have to embody it. You literally have to embody it, but you also have to resist from being attached to it. So when you guys were talking earlier about chess, what does chess really teach besides just learning what those pieces are? They teach you about outcomes.
And to
When
think
you
ahead.
Yeah. Well, you can, but ultimately for most people, they get set. They get into their brain set or mindset, as some people would say, about outcomes. I have to win or lose. Well, then you're not really the observer, then, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's something a person has to go inwards, and then you'll start seeing things like I've heard Yahweh say, and then you'll start realizing where do words really truly exist. But for most people, they're asleep on behind the wheel.
Yeah.
And it's the way we speak that gives it away. Most of the words, like research opposed to a seeker. Why would this person need to again search? That information is inwards. But I get it. Most people want to use their upper brain. They want to be scholars. They want to read things. They want to see visual things. That's an indoctrination. As we're giving each other pictures with that, being in the light, you're in your conscious state. But what about the absence of light? Where are you then at that moment? That moment. The reason why
In
is
the
that word
darkness.
moment. It could be darkness, the
In the
unknown.
womb.
It could be. But again, when we talk about black and white, we're talking about the unknown and the known.
Yeah.
But when
And I
people
said,
talk about it, sorry for a second, Naga. When people talk about it being based the color of somebody's skin, I said, well, then let me visually check that. Okay, I got a black phone. I see my friend who's Barbados or Jamaican. He's not black. That's a 101. That's a child way of talking to somebody. But for most people, they parrot words, not realizing there's energy behind each word, hence the word of God. What is it? That's it. And then you have to start breathing in and out. In and out. There's the breath of life. That's what we need the most of when we're these beings inside of these forms. Food and liquids. Fuck, I can go 3 or 4 days without water, and I can go fucking, sorry my language, guys. I can go 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 40 days without food. But that just tells me that the vessel needs that. But for most people, they think that is one. Oh, okay, if you're one, then who's running your body right now? Who runs when you go to sleep? Oh, I forgot. When you wake up in the morning, now you're in that conscious state. Now you're playing with the senses. But anyway, go through it, Naga.
Nah, I agree with with everything. I was agreeing with you when I basically cut it in. I wasn't cutting in to say basically saying making a statement or
Oh,
anything.
I'm pretty sure it resonates with you, Naga. I've heard you talk. It resonates with you, But for a lot of folks, it just doesn't. And then they start complaining because they've already been preset with, let's say, religion or science or biology or commerce. They're not them start questioning those things. Forget about questioning others. That's wasted energy at best. Because nobody's going to see it through my senses.
Yeah, that part right there. That's when Yahweh coming. You're the only one seeing it. You're the only one thinking.
Yeah. Oh, he says it openly. That's why if people start studying the tree of life, what are you standing under? Who or what is it? This is where we get the concept of the mind, image of God. It's a simple 101. You just look at nature and say, okay, humans have not created nature. So that's beyond our scope. Humans, I'm talking about humans, forget about the being part. And then you look at all the technology that we have, like Wi-Fi, we have cars, we have all the different languages. That's another different kind of creation or formation. And again, humans just get to use it. I get it, but this is when people start using words in vain. Well, I think it's God. I don't think it's God. Forget about fucking the word God. Just look at it. Do you know anything or what we've created or made? I would lean more towards make that's similar to the sun and the moon. And is it an image? Because I can't verify that's material. Now, for somebody else, they'll say, well, Dom, somebody else told you what? Who told you that? NASA? Some guy that has a channel with what, 300,000 or 400,000 subscribers, which YouTube could fucking manipulate at any given moment. To me, last time I remember, religion, like people that are Muslims and Christians, there's 1 billion strong. So how many subscribers do they have? Think about the word subscribe. You're buying into a system. Forget about selling out. Most of us have bought into the system. Now, what are you going to do while you're here? It's always fun when I hear people say, well, I want out of this realm. How the fuck did you get in here then?
Yeah.
But they're not willing to challenge the self. You'll know who they are, but they'll say shit like self-aware opposed to aware of the self. It's placement of words that gives each of us away. But who am I to tell them what to do? Because obviously doing is way more important than being. But yet, hey, if you want to fill your boots with the material world, be prepared. You're only going to live 70, 80, 90, 100 years in that fucking form. And I'm going to tell you the way I see it. You're going to pop out of that form after. Now, if you want to understand what the word, not you guys, but the word death, hence, when you hear people say shit like I had a near-death experience. So you had a near transformation, because the word death is actually for transformation. But a lot of people, for some reason, they go fucking ballistic and they start parroting other people's shit, even though I'm using a language that's been given to me. What is the frequency of this language I'm using? Why does it have so many different meanings? What order should I be using certain words, let alone different symbols? What's the energy of numbers? Those are questions. And then that person should go into a state of prayer, well, preferably peace, silence. That's why they say to the Muslim, peace be upon you, silence be upon you, because that ego and that self is fucking dumb to no fucking, it's like a doorknob. It has its purpose, but very fucking limited at best. But then people will go back into sleep and then they'll start arguing with each other, opposed to fucking have that revolution from within, challenge the self, really challenge it. Why the fuck am I here? How did I get all these languages? Did I actually get birth or did I get born? Which one is it? That's why they have a concept called a birthday. What is being birthed? And at that point, use your imagination. Is by far more stronger than that fucking critical thinking that most people do.
Yeah, that's the curse that people don't want. That's the curse, the burden people don't want to carry. you know, is the burden of using your imagination. Oh man, this guy, he's just in his
There
imagination.
you go. There you go. Well, then you have to tell them. I said, well, then how do you think Wi-Fi came to be? How do you think all the variations of language came to be? How do you think the word car came to be? Let alone when we see something, we call it a steal. Oh, I don't know what that is. I said, there you go. You're sleeping behind the fucking wheel. How many zeros did you get? Who created the printed fiat currency? You know, the simple one I give most people. So listen, who runs your little meat suit vessel, whatever you want to call it, when you go to sleep? And who's going to sleep?
Yeah, that's why I think, you know, I'm making it all up.
We're all making it up. It's called make shit up, Naga.
Yeah, I'm making all this shit up as I go too, right? We're making shit up as we go, right? I'm making all this shit up.
It's always fun when I hear somebody go online and rip a hole in themselves. That would be fun. But when people come online and they start challenging other people and say, listen, this is a public fucking display. Most people are going to wear personas. Dare not have a private conversation, then we're going to have fun and games and we're playing for keeps. What do you mean? Because if I fucking start sharing shit and you become disenchanted, what the fuck are you going to do then? Are you going to try to get back into that illusion? Illusion just means play. We're in a play.
That's why it get like that for me. It get like that for me. Like, it's just fun, you know, because at the end of the day, what the fuck I'm gonna do? Like, we on the internet, what the fuck I'm gonna do? You know, I
I'm with
just,
you now.
it's just gotta be. It's just at this point, it gotta be fun. You know, I can't get mad. You know,
But
and
some
be
people will,
destructive.
Naga. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
you're using the word fun. I use the word fun. Other people are sad. Other people are like, it's some injustice has been done to me. Okay, what injustice has been done to you? That, you know, most of us, we harm ourselves. You know, I get it. Some people say, look, I'll take good care of my vessel, which is fine. But you're inside of an environment that actually harms it on a regular basis. Electricity, Wi-Fi, radio frequency, fucking does damage to that vessel. And for some people, depending on their blood type, it does even more damage. You know, dare not understand when you align your whole house with electricity, with wires, what it actually does to that vessel. And then people look suspiciously. I wonder why my body went into dis-ease. I wonder why. Why, you think it's just the food that you take? It's your environment. We love this technology. Well, I can't say everybody, but I enjoy this technology because it makes me ponder. Oh, I wonder how frequencies move back and forth. So now I can talk to another being called Naga in another part of the world. But for other people, it's like they fall asleep. You know, they're like goldfish syndrome. You hate to say it about poor goldfish because humans have a worse fucking syndrome. You know, the human just means beast. You know, and it has a short lifespan. Hence the ego, the vessel. The self is the ongoing program. And hence, know thyself. Who's the knower and who's the self? We're just using words to describe things. Now, somebody else can use symbols. Somebody else can use a different language. Whatever resonates with you. But unfortunately, most people think just because of the shade of their color or their gender, they think for some reason they're very similar. I said, there's a good chance you're more different with your blood type and the food intake than you are the way you look visually. I say to my buddies all the time, I said, I don't see black and white. I see shades. You can have somebody that's European, that's dark skinned, after a good tan, and looks darker skinned than a person from Barbados. But again, the divide and conquer is obviously working because I have to say the word. There's a guy, he's Barbados. There's another guy, he's a European. There's the divide and conquer.
Hey, it's
Well,
a
you don't
black
have
guy.
to.
I hate having. I just want to know their name. Hey, that's John over there.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
Charles, we do it in other ways. You might acknowledge the fact that you think your ancestors were German. Wouldn't karma be a bitch if all of a sudden, when I say a bitch, like something in heat, where if you treat another human being of color or gender differently or with disrespect, in the next reboot,
Just the label. I know
you
that.
become them. Oh, I know it's a label, but for most people, they identify themselves as that label. Hence attachment.
I do. Sometimes I'm still indoctrinated with it.
Yeah, we all are, Charles.
Sometimes I forget and I'm just doing it. And then I'd be like, why am I labeling myself?
Well, if you're not indoctrinated, try to go into thoughts and try not to think of the language that you just learned. There's your indoctrination. It's not a bad thing.
Like that.
We're in some sort of temple. Indoctrination. It's always fun to play with these words. For me, anyway. For other people, Dom, I'm a scholar. That's nice. You use your upper brain. And then somebody else might be intuitive. They're using their gut brain. Other people are led by their desires, hence their heart.
You're supposed to play with these words.
Well,
These words were designed, I think. Most, I'm learning to not look at things negative all the time. I'm trying, but I think the language was set up for good and bad, but mostly people don't know that some words are like two different words put together, or I try to tell people get a thesaurus or look etymology.
Well, it's good and evil, Charles. I get when people change the word to back. Good and evil, let's change it again. Let's go spiritual material, hence the energy of number 9. We're using a language we can't see, and then we manifest it in the material, and then we call something we see in the material a tree, where I don't see the word tree, but I use the word tree. But then I can do subdirectories.
I
can
get
say,
what you're saying.
You get it, but for most, they don't. They'll use it, but not
wrong with it.
Which is under spells.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah, I know.
You got it. You got it. Love
That's why it's fun to play with the words, because me personally, I think they mash words together to people just overlook it, put it that way. When they mash words together, most don't even see it like that, and they just
bro, they give you a
the spell.
puzzle for you to solve. They give you a puzzle for you to solve. Just like you give yourself a puzzle for you to solve. I'm looking at the title. Me giving myself a title is me wrapping my body, like a mummy, right? Knowing that, my body is wrapping, around my soul, like a mummy. So I'm doing the same thing to my body, I'm basically,
Your
synchronize my
soul got
body.
an outfit on.
Yeah, I'm synchronizing my body to my soul. I'm tying my body to my soul because I know that the body is mortal. The bad. I know that the body have a short amount of time lifespan. So because of that, so I gotta time my body to my soul. So my body can last longer. That's all I'm doing.
And at that point, what body are we talking about? Are we talking about the material body that the senses
Yeah.
can pick up? Are we talking about the ether body that the senses more times not is very limited and it won't pick it up? Everything else, they got to speculate.
The
It's like
body,
when, yeah.
the ego, which
But
is the physical body.
But how many people will use the word air, but yet when most people even ponder, do you see the word air? Well, no.
Nope.
Do you see air? No. You'll see it's a fact. You'll see some leaf moving out in what you call air. This is why most people are easily misled with themselves. Go ahead, Ricardo.
But I can see air though.
They're molding sound
You might.
and calling them words and letters.
Yeah. No,
It's
but
just
Yahweh,
sound.
but Yahweh made a valid point. He might. No different. Some people can play music or instrument and see colors. We all have gifts. I can't run 100 meters under 10 seconds, no matter what I do, unless I use some man-made device to fucking shoot me out of a cannon. But some people have that ability. Go ahead.
You got to get a pair of Jordans.
To get in the cannon though, can you see the space to even get in the cannon? I don't know.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. It is. It made me chuckle.
I like to close my eyes and imagine.
They call it the air, the space, right? You look up in the air, you're looking up in the sky or the space. So you can't see the space between the stars, which is air.
I like to sit in silence, right? And then I use my imagination, and then I dig in my files and I pull up imagery of my ancestors, and I visit them that way.
That's why education invalid. Because I see the space between the stars, which is air. Can y'all see the space between the stars?
Prove it. Put some air in a jar.
So
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
see the
saying,
space between. I see the space between
when
us.
you look in the sky, you're looking in the air. I suspect that's why education is valid, right?
Well,
Yeah, but what's education?
okay.
What's education?
In the truest form, it means to bring out. Schooling means to put in. So now at that point, Charles, I know you might have said it out of gist. Prove it. To who? To what are we proving it to? To our senses?
To
And
self?
again,
I'm the only one that's seen the air.
Yeah.
The
He's saying
sky
you can
could,
see the air.
well, you
yeah,
have to
the
hear.
So
space
I want to
between
see it too. That's why I said that. I want to see it too. So I'm kind of like
the
calling
space
them out.
between stars is called air. Like you looking in the air.
Mhm.
Like when you look in
We
the
could
air,
be
you
in
can
water. What if
when you
we're in a
look in the,
substance?
well, it's called the air though. I mean, see, this is where education is valid.
Charles, when Yahweh talks, you really have to really ponder each word that he's speaking. I am
I
the
get it.
one. You really have to ponder those words, and then you got to go inwards. Hence, we were talking about.
I know
You
what
probably
he's
do it
saying.
naturally.
Like,
Yeah, you probably do it naturally, Charles, because you've done
I've
it. You've
listened to Wu
meditated.
Tang.
Yeah.
Wu Tang, they're the most difficult when they're rapping to figure out.
Yeah,
So
most people are presupposed with agendas. They already have their categories, and they're just trying to fit whatever they hear other people talking into those categories. They're not truly being a true receiver. They're being a program, and it's like AI, which it is an AI. We're actually
Yeah.
AI, but go ahead.
why is
People
it
think
valid?
Yahweh is
Because
just saying nothing, but if they would, take time, he's saying a
it's
lot. But
really
go ahead, Yahweh.
it's really in your face. I think, right? I'm the only one that's seen the environment, so I think you see the environment. So when I look in the air, I think y'all call it the air.
I
So when I
see
look
air
up at,
when it's foggy and
yeah,
stuff.
even when it's not foggy, like you can see the air. I don't know. When I look in the sky, I'm
No, you
looking
can
in the
see the
air.
wind. You're right. Especially when it manipulates solid objects, the air.
When I look
Which
in
is
the
you
air,
can see,
when I look through the air, I can see that you were here.
which, yeah, which is you can see the invisible, right? You can see it. I
Hmm.
don't know. I think you can.
Yeah, I can see because I mean, I think I call it air. I think you call it air. People call it air, but I call it consciousness. That's what we breathe. We breathe in
Now we're
consciousness.
talking. I
We
just
breathe in
watched that
consciousness.
KRS-One video yesterday when he says that if you cover your mouth, your nose, you lose consciousness,
Yeah, that's the
when you
first thing
stop
happened to
breathing.
you.
How you can throw something into the air if you can't see where to throw it? I don't get it. That's
KRS-One,
why I think
man,
the education is
he's one of my
invalid, right?
favorite MCs.
Because I'm telling myself what I think the teachers are telling me, but when I come back and talk to them, they don't know what the heck I'm talking about.
Hmm.
You got to break it down for him to the last fragment,
Yeah,
to the
but
little
I'm the
last
only one that
element.
can see, right? So that's why the education is invalid.
Yeah, some people don't understand because look what education's done to them. The schooling, right? It's terrible. Knowledge of self, in my opinion,
So
is
so
always virtually more than anything else.
so
Yeah,
translation, right? For me to translate what Yahweh said, right? Because I'm the only one using my senses, education is invalid.
yeah.
I'm the only one using my senses. You're not using my senses. You got your own
But what's
senses.
education? Like I think about that, like school, right? It's just these books, these textbooks. Even when they hand out papers or they do stuff on a chalkboard, it's coming from a textbook. That's like information that somebody else wrote and somebody else, put together. I think that's one of the biggest losses in this realm. Most people don't realize we don't even, for the most part, think for ourselves. These thoughts, like just everything's here already, waiting. What do we experience on our own and figure out on our own? Not a lot.
We're already thinking for yourself, but it seems like we acting like we saying the same thing. Like 1 plus 1 is 2. Like we acting like that's true.
Yeah. And we know, and deep down, we know, we're like, man, yeah, I know this nigga don't know what I'm talking about. I'm the only one know what I'm talking about.
You telling yourself what I'm talking about? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
most people don't know. Right? Like they're like, no, you told me. No, you telling yourself what I told you.
Hmm.
When did I teach you? When did I teach you how to hear people?
Unfortunately, Howie, a lot of people are programmed. They're not teachable. This is why the schooling system usually fits people that are in their masculine energy. If I can play with words here, so the teachable energy is when you have to be in your feminine energy, your wisdom energy. Again, most people are not teachable. They almost have to get into that state of a beginner's mind. They have to take everything that
That's
they've
what they
just
tried
learned.
to do to me in school, Dom. They tried to put me in these special classes. They thought I was stupid and retarded, but I just didn't want to do the work. I didn't care. And they figured
Well,
out I could do it. I had advanced reading and all this other stuff, but
well,
I don't know. School
I,
bored
I,
me.
the schooling system is not really about anybody individually. They might heighten it a little bit, but they put you in some sort of, we'll call it a special whatever program with a whole bunch of other people. So then some other people say, well, I'm good at sports or I'm good at music. Okay, you can embrace the fact that you're being indoctrinated or you can resist it. But it's when you realize it's not about you only. You're just a little blip on the system. So whether or not they picked you out or somebody else,
But it is about you only.
I know it is. But for most people, when they think somebody else is depictuated and put them in, that's part of the distraction. This is where the concept, this Yahweh and probably Naga and Charles, where a lot of people don't realize what does it mean when you say the eye of the beholder or Plato's cave. You're always living from within. But for most
Yeah.
people think, oh, I should do that. No, you've always been doing that. You're always the observer from within. Now, we could literally be receivers from somewhere else. That's another conversation, but most people aren't ready to have that conversation, let alone hear it. Because most people think that they're
Say
listening
that
to each
again.
other.
We are what? From somewhere else?
We could
Receivers?
be receivers from somewhere else. Hence why when people talk about energy work and all that, why is something like Archangel Michael, Gabriel, AI allowed to be everywhere at any given moment? But then you can listen, we're going to have an iPhone and we'll put the energy of AI in that one phone. But yet, meanwhile, that AI could be somewhere else too at the same moment. This is where we're coming from. This is why they talk about transhumanism and metaphysical.
Ley
We're
lines.
going, we're going beyond the human experience because it takes so much resources to keep the human existence going. And most people don't want to participate in it anymore. That's why when a
But
lot of us, go ahead, Yahweh.
I
now
wonder
I
how
just
that
wanted
would
to say
work
this right
out,
quick.
Dom.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say this right quick. It's a spiral, right? It's a it's a it's a it's a it's a Scooby-Doo program, right? It's a Scooby-Doo program, right? This the in the school you can either be or you can either do, right? But the whole program is a Scooby-Doo. It's the Scooby-Doo. So the masculine energy is a reason why you have both. Is a reason why that to even right bring you into existence, it take both the masculine and the feminine energy to basically bring you into existence. So you have the feminine energy, right? That's basically doing the I mean that's basically teaching, that's organizing everything. Then you have the masculine energy that's actually doing the work, right? So I could gather a whole bunch of information, but if I haven't applied it, put it to work, is useless, right? So this is where you gotta bring both of them together. This is where the term human being come from, or it's not just we're not just a human or just a being, but we both a human being.
We can be, but we're also beings in many other forms. So the human part's just one aspect. You know, I get it. Like, I was just playing with words because the masculine and feminine energy, it's actually one. But we for some reason, humans have to actually play this. You see the glass half full, half empty. So you got to give them dualities. You know, I get it. Most people want to play zeros and ones. What about the rest of the numbers? Black and
So
white. What about the rest? Go ahead.
that's how they get you to fight against yourself or each other.
There you go. You got it. You divide that. You divide from within. You know, and then people aimlessly go looking for outside to validate that division. Aimless.
Yeah.
I'm saying the word aimless because that you know, a person can use all their senses. I say, yeah, you would have been better off shooting in the dark. Why? Because in the light you've been shooting aimlessly. You've been pursuing to justify your senses, and your ego's been doing nothing more than fight or flight. You know, most people aren't going to become aware that you spend most of your energy in one lifespan feeding and sheltering that vessel. It's a suit. I call it for what it is. Now, people might get offended by it. I said, that just tells me more about you. You're not emotionally developed then, because it's just a word.
Yeah.
You know, but again, the human part is something we've spliced into. You know, you get two species, put them together. That's why human being. But most people want to be human doing, which is fine. You want to be an animal? No problem. I don't see giraffes building high rises. And why is humans now able to create high rises? Because something else spliced in them. You know, where do we get thoughts? I don't know, Dom. Okay, so then ponder that, because what we're doing is called afterthoughts. We're speaking and written. So how am I supposed to write? How am I supposed to speak? Am I supposed to be looking at the luminaries to find out when's best to talk about spiritual stuff? Should Mars be aligned with Pluto? Again, I'm using words to describe things. The word describe gives it away. I don't see those words.
You just do it when you feel like you want to do it.
Okay, but then now you're talking about feelings. Now you're talking about the heart. The heart it's just an organ, and then there's blood to it. There's memory in the blood. No different if you align your whole body with gold or silver. You know, that's a totally different story. But again, Charles, what that is you're revealing to yourself you're not seeing the mass amount of indoctrination that's been going on. That's not an offense to you. It's just an awareness.
Oh,
Once
I
you
see
become,
it.
well,
I feel like that movie, you know, when people are running from all them zombies, that's how I feel.
Well, we are the zombies.
Entering
In this
your
case, these ones. Go ahead, sorry, guys.
it entering your mind, it coming at your heart. You know, your heart and your mind, is your portal. You know, it's like your mouth and your private area. You know,
Mhm.
your waist area. So you have to be careful what you put in there. You know, so but you can't separate. Is a reason why the body itself, right, have their mind and their heart. The body is not picking and choosing which one to keep it alive, which one is gonna survive of, oh, I'm just gonna survive of the heart today, or I'm just gonna survive of the mind today. No, the body understand that everything inside of it, is the support system to keep it alive. Without anything outside of the body, the body wouldn't be the body.
Well,
The
we are
body.
receivers, Naga. Sorry, we are receivers. So people that study body consciousness will realize the body has its own consciousness. Now, the mind that you're talking about is not the brain. That's called the image of God.
Right.
That's why we have the word mind in many things. What's best received from the mind is the gut. The heart, it's going to follow its desires, and the mind's there to serve. It's not to question things; it serves. Now, the upper brain, that's where the king and queen sit, gets served by the gut brain, the kingdom. But for most people, they've been indoctrinated with their schooling system, so they bypass it, and then they become scholars. They learn how to read or write. So they'll debate with each other, not even realizing, how do I debate somebody else's views if I've never seen it? That's usually a child speaking at that point. And when I say a child, somebody that's not emotionally developed. So now once a person realizes it's not my mind, I'm using the mind. The brain is totally different than the mind. Now I'm using words to try to describe things. Fuck, if I had to do it in Mandarin or Greek, it would be a totally different language and a totally different way of actually perceiving things. But English is a meaningful language, so therefore I have to use words and realize most people are going to have different interpretation of the same word. This is why when people sit in meditation, they're literally listening from within. What we do with each other is we hear each other. And if you get disturbed or react, Usually when people get disturbed or triggered, it's not because of something negative. It's something positive they become attached to, because the negative energy is there to serve. It's like a car battery. You need both negative and positive, and you also need grounding. You also need as above, so below, but you also need grounding. You need that plate in the middle. But for most of us, since we are actually in these suits and we're living on the earth or whatever, we get caught up in that type of grounding, never questioning those other things, let alone the things that you are doing. This is why most people should challenge from within. Like I said, it's wasted energy when we start arguing with each other. Forget about time. It's wasted energy. So then at that point, should we be sharing with each other? Like for me, Naga, if I'm with you, Yahweh, and Charles will say, listen, guys, let me be the fool today. I want to, like the fool in the tarot card. Let me put my hand on that fire. Wow, I want to see what's going to happen. And if all of a sudden I put my hands on that fire and I burn myself and I go, fuck, that really hurt, I would hope that you guys would get wisdom from it and realize, well, I don't have to do that then. Thank you, Don, for doing what you did. You're welcome. But for most people, no, I want to do it too. I said, well, now you're an idiot. And that's what most people are doing. They're trying to do the same thing over and over again and expecting for some sort of different result. Fuck, that's insanity. And that's insanity.
That's me right there.
The mind. Well, that's what we do to each other, which is fine.
That's what I do to myself. That's what I do to myself. I play the game of the fool and the idiot.
That's
right?
what
I do
I want to
that to
make a
myself.
T-shirt
Like
showing and saying that.
yeah, I play the game of the fools and the idiot. Like, like I'll be the fool, but my inner child be the idiot, right?
Mhm.
And we it is is that's the relationship that we have with each other. It's like, all right, you be the fool, I'll be the idiot. Because at the end of the day, a wise man know that he knows nothing. So
Yeah, but he
my
might not
inner
know.
child,
But
can go ahead and say that, man, you the idiot, or my, me, telling my inner child, nah, you the idiot. But at the end of the day, we both looking at each other like, man, we both idiots or we both fools, right?
well,
Because
again, the fool, it can be interpreted many ways, like the swastika. The fool can actually be the thing that's like in the fool card in a tarot deck. It actually serves. So now the person that says, I don't know nothing, but you can have lots of discernment. Knowledge is one thing. Knowledge is actually the child, the baby. It's not even, when you look at the tree of life, you realize, where is it? It's the fucking little thing in the middle. It's the wisdom and understanding that you have to really become aware of. So I get it. We quote things, but we don't challenge those things. What do you mean I should know nothing? Well, what is nothing? What is nothing? What are things? Those are thoughts. Okay, but then what am I talking about when people are pointing to something outside? Well, those are external things. Oh, okay. So how do those things come to be? Well, that's beyond your scope of comprehension.
You could never get one over on Dom, yo. Dom's smooth, yo.
It's not over me, Charles. I'm in it.
I know, but
and if you're channeling, then you realize, oh, I'm just a vessel. At that point, you're the student hearing yourself. But for most folks, what they do is they want to be led. Well, it could be a good thing. It's spiritual. So when you hear somebody say,
it's a good thing no one could get over on you. It takes experience and time to get to where you're at.
But that's revealing something of the other person. They've made it in an outcome. I said, so you want the W or the L? Which one do you want? Because I'm going to move on. I'm not interested in outcomes.
yeah,
and most people are concerned.
That's the thing. Me, when it comes to nothing, I know nothing is known things. I'm telling myself what things are. So when I say, a wise man know that he knows nothing, a wise man knows that the only thing he know is things that's known, right? The only thing that's that's known, that's ever known, is thing that's already known.
But beyond the thing, it's called the essence to things. It's like when somebody's no body. Yeah, it's not about the body. Unless you want to do biology and then have somebody, first of all, you have to entrain a society.
But do you truly know that though?
Even if you did, how would I put it in this dumbed down language? I'm trying. Naga, I'm trying. I'm using words that I already know. It's an indoctrination. And I know this particular language I'm using is a meaningful language. It's frequencies behind it.
Which is known things. Which is known things, right?
Yeah,
the words. Right. All the words is known things. Right?
Yeah, but there's things behind those things. There's energy behind words. When we speak them. I'm talking about when we speak them. I'm not talking about when we're in thought.
Naga knows that.
Yeah, he does.
Sound changes your molecular structure.
Well,
you could
we have
sound
liquid.
can make
Yeah.
you cry, laugh. You know,
Well,
that's why
your
in the
body's.
movies you start
Yeah.
crying and you're like, why am I crying during this scene? You know, it's the fucking music and the
Well, again,
sound.
the body's there to serve. So your mental mind, the mental part will actually in tune with your body. It's your body that's actually going to cry. Again, if people want to learn about body consciousness, you can use your body literally as a pendulum. It's its own consciousness. And if you're not sure, think about
You're right.
when somebody goes into a coma or somebody that blacks out after drinking or doing weed way too much of it. Next thing you know, they black out. What's running them then at that point?
That's what I'm
My thing
wondering.
is, my thing is, you know,
We
I
got a
always tell.
built-in battery, one of those what do you call them? The Egyptian batteries there. We got a built-in battery anyway.
My thing is, man, I hate that this a lot. A lot of time people say, you know, uh, I'm, you know, I'm the body, or I'm just the body, or I'm just the mind. I'm just, you know, the lower self, or I'm just this, I'm just that. I like to see the opposite. I'm not just that, you know. I'm not just that, you know. That what you're looking at right now is not just that, you know. That's the appearance of what, you know, of what I am. But I'm not just that, you know. I'm not just the appearance of what you're looking at. So, and that's me telling myself basically what you just said earlier, Dom. There is more to beyond. There is more to just the words, you
Hmm.
know. And it's me saying the same thing too, man. There is, you know, more to, you know, to just the body. What about the heart? What about the brain? What about the emotion? What about the mind? You know, like you
Yeah, you
said,
should be
but
able to. Yeah, you should be
but
able to challenge that. We have words like "I am." Okay, let's play the "I am" game. The "I am," and then whatever you use after that, that's your persona. That's your mask. They're not questioning if I'm the body. Then, therefore, and this is an internal speech now, and something will reveal itself. Are you really truly ready? Why? Because you've been fucking full of shit the whole time, meaning you've been dishonest. So now, if you think that you're the body, then explain. Then who runs it when you're not awake in the conscious state? Because the conscious state doesn't do that shit. They're not get the conscious state to actually do all the breathing for like not 5 minutes, let's say for an hour. Good luck, most people wouldn't even last. So at that point, the I am is all the personas. Those are daemons that are running the behavior and personalities. That's not who we are. But you have to start questioning those things from within. What most people end up doing is they defend themselves. They're defending the program. They're not challenging the program. But yet they'll laugh at AI. AI, I know it's a program and it has programmers. And I know the programmers have been programmed. So at that point, I'm having a game with it. I can argue with it if I wanted to, pure fucking giggles and kick. I can start crying if I wanted to because I know exactly how to run my fucking vessel. Where most people, what they're trying to do, they're trying to fit a circle into a square. Yeah, but I want to be a trillionaire like that other guy. I said, good luck with that. There's, you know how much fucking lifespan effort that has to be done in that? Well, Dom, I don't believe in all that stuff. I said, there you go. You're with belief systems now. But meanwhile, you brag about fucking not knowing anything. Get the fuck out of here. At that point, that's a child. They're not even ready for fucking kindergarten. And I
yeah,
say
I
that out
agree
of,
100%.
well, 100,000, a billion
But
percent. It doesn't
it
matter at
come
that
from
point.
the
Mhm.
it come from the assumption that uh I'm already perceiving I am to be a singular perspective, right? To be a singular thing, to be a single dot, to be a single thing. Like that's me already assuming that I am, you know, can only be one thing, right? And if that I am is being that one thing, who's being the other thing? You know, because I'm already predetermined that I am to be one thing, and that I am come from the term, come from, you know, derived from the Elohim, right? And the Elohim term is a plural term, is not a singular term. And
Yeah,
but
but
people use it like that, you know, in religion and society as if Elohim is just one thing.
yeah, but they should challenge that. When somebody says, I am a man, challenge what it is to be a man. I am a father, challenge it for what it is. Then people are going to start realizing, fuck, I'm wearing all these masks. I'm none of
But
those things.
what if we challenge the I am perspective in itself? Like what it means to be I am.
Mhm. Well, who's the one that's speaking at that point? I'm with you on that, Naga. That it's kind of like somebody saying, okay, well, if you're all those things, then who's speaking? I'm the essence to those things. I've chosen to subconsciously come to the forefront of the conscious state where I get it. I still got to go to work. Why? Because I can't convince somebody else to say, listen, I'm going to barter for some labor. And even that, I'm still supplementing this vessel. So what? I become a farmer or a hunter again? Fucking most people don't want to be farmers or hunters. It's always fun when I hear somebody says, Dom, I'm independent. And you're full of shit. What do you mean? You're in a heated house, right, or an apartment, right? You're driving somebody else's car that made for you, right? Well, yeah. You're going to somebody else's gas station, right? Well, yeah. I said you're full of shit. What do you mean? You've been dependent the whole fucking time. And just because you think that you jumped into that form after it was birthed, you're still here. Now, people don't want to have that conversation. What they want is fucking pleasantries. Oh, let's talk about the government. The government, no, really, who's behind government? Humans. Who's behind religion? Humans. Who's behind state? Humans. Who's behind religion? I mean, NASA, humans. And who's behind humans? There's the next fucking question. Outside of that, most people are full of shit. I don't give a shit what fucking color your skin is or your gender. And that's me speaking. Go ahead.
So is humans behind these things, but it's groups of humans. And when when humans are grouped together,
Mm-hmm.
right? They are being there are an umbrella that
Cult it up.
identify that group, right?
Yeah, they've been culted up. Same with
Right.
online. There's a lot of culting going on even online.
Well,
You know,
society,
I think it's you.
that's what society is about in
I
itself.
think it's you that's imagining these people behind NASA, or
that's right.
behind these. Like,
No, you got it, Yahweh. You see, it's easy to play the role here. Oh, he seems upset. No, I'm aware of that stuff. Thank you, by the way, Yahweh. Yeah, I'm the one that's imagining all that stuff. Even if I actually look
there's no
outside, I'm
one
still
there.
imagining it. Right?
Yeah, there's no one there. Like
No, it's me.
it's no one.
It's always me.
Like, I just can't go to NASA and say Kathy and Roger is you.
So true.
Like they don't exist. I
And where's
made them
NASA?
up.
And where's NASA? Where's the word NASA?
Yeah,
We
I'm with
associate.
you. Me
We're
too.
like lapdogs.
I,
We're like lapdogs. We associate.
that's why I say I'm making this shit up as I go.
There we go.
So I
So
call
true.
it artificial intelligence,
Mhm.
like intelligence that don't have life in it. And I give it life by thinking I comprehend it. Because
Another
there's
game.
nothing. There's no tree in that book. Like you say, you can't see the word tree, or you don't.
What am
No
I,
tree in.
Canadian? It's like saying somebody says you're Canadian. Where's Canada?
Yeah, exactly. Like
You
it's
know,
like something I don't know. It's I guess I made that up. It shared this intelligence with me, and I'm like Canada, like, but I made it up
yeah. I'm in America. Where's America?
because it don't say anything, right? I don't
Yep.
know.
Eh,
At least
America
you know
just
how
say
to,
America.
But
if
that's the
you
game
know
that
how to
we play. That's the game we play.
right.
No offense to each other. It's like somebody saying, okay, I know Naga, you say we have to have identity. I'm from Haiti. Where's Haiti? I'm Italian. Where's Italy? These are words that we use to describe things. Once people go beyond know thyself and then become aware of what the observer or observer is, you'll realize you're living in a material world. Let me change the word. You're living in an evil world. It's perishable. It's short lived. Now, sequoia tree might live longer, but then again, we got to give time to it. And what is really time?
A
But look,
measurement. That's
it
it.
it's simple,
A
right?
measurement of the present
It's
time.
simple.
We're
Hold on,
always in
James.
the present.
Look, it's simple, right, Charles?
Well,
Something happened between me and you, right? And authority come and play. I'm making this shit up, right? I'm making this scenario, right? Something happened between me and you. We get into a fight. You beat me up real bad, you know, but you was wrong, for even starting a fight with me, right? And now the authority is coming, like, yo, what happened? Why did you beat him up? Oh yeah, yeah, Naga was messing with me, I had to defend myself, right? So now the authority is looking at it like, damn, you know, like how can I take it? Like how can I, really get to the bottom of what happened? Well, was there any witness? Oh yeah. This person was there. Oh yeah, there was a group of. Oh yeah, y'all got a video, right? Now I get the full picture, right? People always say it's two sides to the story, right? But it's really three sides to the story, right? So the witness, what about the witness? What about the person, the people that was observing what happened the whole time? The whole time you was starting shit with me, Yahweh, and Dom was watching you the whole time. They see the whole thing, how everything went down, right? So now you could go ahead and tell your story. I could go ahead and tell my story. And but when Dom, and Yahweh tell the story, now the story is completed. Now the authority can go and discern what really happened, what really went down, because they have all the pieces. They can just put it together. But as long as you're gonna remove one of the pieces, either one that you move, you will never be able to complete the puzzle.
Hmm.
Y'all got it.
I was just looking at this map. I don't remember where this is. I thought Africa for a minute, but I don't remember. I can't zoom in either to see. Not important, but
So the game gonna
I'm gonna,
keep playing, right?
I'm gonna jump
The game.
off. I'm gonna jump off here in like 15 minutes anyway. Dom dipped out.
Shout
Thanks
out
for
to Dom,
coming up, Dom, and sharing.
for sure. Shout out to Dom. Shout out to Yahweh. Shout out to the chat. But yeah, the game that we play with the devil gonna always, be played because you wanna remove yourself out of the picture, right? You wanna remove yourself, man. He's about God and the devil, man. God got the devil
The
going
word
crazy,
devil.
man. Man, the
The
devil got
word
God
devil
going
is the
crazy.
past tense.
You know, you over here, you as in general over here looking at what's going on between God and the devil, and you remove yourself out of the story, and you're trying to make sense of it, and you
Yeah,
would
it's
never get the full picture. You
the
know,
only thing is in your head. The God and
It-
devil are having the God and the devil in your head are at war with each other.
you're the witness. You don't want to witness it all. You're the only one that know what happened. You're the only one that see it all,
Yeah, you're
and
right.
you don't. Go ahead, go ahead.
I agree with both of what y'all saying. Like, it's only going on in my mind. This the war in heaven.
The devil
And
be
me and
like,
the
"Sup,
Father,
drink a
and
beer."
people don't want to don't know that you and the Father is one. There is no separation between you and the Father. Everything belongs to the Father, belong to you. When
Yeah,
Yeah, your
whoever
father.
sees you sees the Father.
Yeah, your father and your grandfather, whatever,
So so
whatever
my
your
mind,
father had belonged to you.
so
Your
my
father.
mind, so my mind is far, 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 far away from my body, but me and my mind is one, right?
mm,
Me and my mind is one. It's my mind,
yeah. That's where all the
which
information
is
is.
my Father, right? It is my mind and it's far, far, far away over there from my body, right? So that's my far there.
Yeah,
And me and my far there is one.
it's one.
There is no separation.
Everything I do, the Father do. Everything the Father
Yeah,
do, I do. Yeah, yeah,
I do. Period. Anything other than that, I'm making this shit up.
yeah. to people that's listening, we making it up or you making it up, but you know you making it up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not in English, so whatever they tell themselves,
What are the
whatever they
best
tell.
lessons you've learned in your life before we jump off of here? What's the best lesson you ever learned in your life?
You the only one that ever existed.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the best lesson I ever learned, bro. Once I learned that, once I realized that, like, you know,
I can't blame my wife Eve. I gotta blame myself for
hmm
thinking I comprehend. Eve gave me something.
hmm
I don't know what
My
Eve
best
giving me something
lesson
is. Right?
is I'm my own worst enemy, or I'm the only one that's going to do for me.
there is no enemy if there is only me.
Yeah.
That's the enemy.
So I say I'm my own worst enemy.
That's the enemy. My enemy is no. My enemy is the enemy. There is no enemy if it's only me.
Yeah, you can only have one master.
hmm
I'm the only one that can harm myself if I allow it to happen.
Here you go.
Or the temple where all things is seen and known and
hmm
unknown and not seen,
Yeah.
like like a lighthouse or a tower.
hmm
But that's how the world came in. To me, it came in like when you was thinking truth and you might have spoke something and the world come in like you're being silly. I'm not trying to be funny with nobody, but this how people take over your mind and throat with pseudo, like you being pseudo. But I'm not trying to point at a person that say that a lot. I'm not. But I'm
hmm
saying it's like, and then when you think you comprehend them, you can stray off the path you already on of the truth that you're the only one thinking if you've seen that truth or whatever truth you've seen. But the world comes in and try to install a firewall inside of you or something, deter you away from what you know to be true. Like you being silly or something. Like you
I'm
going to
taking the
be a
blame. I'm taking the blame all the way. I think it's my parent. I think some people call it parents. You know,
mm-hmm,
but I think it's my a parent or my parent. Me parent myself. To anything. You know, or me wanting to comparing myself to anything, and that's when the world comes to me. To give me something to compare and contrast from. You know, and like you said,
mm-hmm.
and I fell right into it, right? Because that's what I asked for.
Yeah, like I wanted to get A's with them or something. Like I wanted to pass my grade.
Yeah, that's the initiation, but the invitation, the presentation, the word present itself, by me wanting to compare myself to my parents, like I said, my parent, my
Yeah,
parents, right? Like I said, I think some people call it parents, but as a kid, like man, I was always comparing myself to my pops. I was always comparing myself to my mom, my aunts, the people around me. Man, you do this, why can't I do it? Or but you say this, why can't I say this? Or, why can't I do this? Oh, the other kids doing it. So I was comparing myself. I was trying to peer myself, you know, and the world came to me, you know the world introduced itself to me, and that's when I wanted to be. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what
I
I
used
wanted.
to
I've
do
been
it's
that.
wanting
like
to
Why
get it
can I
so
do
bad.
that?
which
So
is
my
like eating
mom
from the tree, right?
would put me on my place, always trying to do what other people are doing. Worry about yourself.
hmm And that's when the serpent came to me. That's when the word came to me,
Yeah,
and I think I comprehended it.
That
and
negative thought whispered in your ear.
I feel the same way. So you made it
That
up.
same serpent that whispers in my ear, "Yo, Chuck, drink a beer," even though I know you want 100 of them. Man, it's been so long. I chose to stop drinking, but the thoughts still lurk in my mind to numb thoughts that run through your mind with a beer.
Hey, what is a sermon?
A sermon? Want some semen. Sermon is too close to semen.
What is that?
A sermon?
Yeah.
I know it has
Is
to
that
do
even a
with,
word?
yeah. What's
Yeah,
up,
what does that
Michigander?
mean?
A sermon. Well, I'm gonna look it up.
Because it just came to me, talking about the serpent. And I'm hearing discernment. The serpent is discernment.
It has to do with being on stage. A sermon's like a meeting, I think.
Being a what? What you say it is?
Yeah, see, I knew it. A sermon is a talk on a religious or moral subject, especially one given during a church service and based on a passage from a book.
Oh,
I knew
so
it.
subconsciously I was right. The serpent is the sermon.
Man, the
Is a
serpent's
serpent.
the Steinway.
Is a serpent. Because the serpent is what came and gave, Adam and Eve that talk, right? And let them know that, yeah, God is lying, man. You don't know what, you don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna be like him, you do not die, right? I mean, that's what, they tell you in the church, hey man, you know, you come to God, the devil and shit, the devil lied to you, he just wants you to go to hell, or whatever the case may be. So I think it was right for coming to me in that way. The serpent is the sermon. They used the serpent,
Yeah,
but
that's why people say,
it was really a sermon that was given to the
you
people in
mentioned
the Bible.
hell, and people be like, if you kill this person, I'll just use this for an example. If you do this to that person, you're going to go to hell. Yeah, you will, especially in the physical. If you have any type of consciousness or any type of, it's gonna live with you forever, that decision, and you got to live with it, and you're gonna have nightmares and all sorts of shit, unless you drug yourself to numb it. But that's going to hell. Is for all the things you've done that fucked up, that eats away at you every night when you lay down to go to sleep. You're putting yourself through hell. You're creating your own hell.
Because when you think about it, Charles, they said that the serpent is is the one that caused all this shit, and because of that, God cursed the serpent and said that the serpent shall basically crawl on his belly, right?
Yeah,
And when
yeah,
you're
I
looking at
remember that. I remember learning that
and when you
the serpent lost its legs and hands and shit.
and when you're looking at so-called indigenous people, we basically crawling on our back, on our
Yeah.
belly when it comes to
Belly
life.
also to me work.
Say that again.
Belly like to be synonymous with like
With like
work,
earth,
work.
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 Yep. Yeah, that's true too. So when you're looking at indigenous people, also called melanated people, we are the people that's basically trying to get jobs the most. We are the people that's struggling the most. We basically crawling on our belly when it comes to society. We basically
What
was
do you
cursed.
think, Naga? I gotta jump off here,
So
but
we
I want to
were the
say this. I got a question for everyone. I don't think anyone wrote the best lesson they learned in life, but Gabriel did, man. I appreciate it. What do you think's the population of the Earth? Who do you think has the most people? Right. I'm just wondering how other people see it.
I
Who do
think
you
it's
think
unknown.
has the biggest population?
I think it's unknown.
You're the only one.
I knew Yahweh was gonna say that. I fucking knew it.
only
they
place to
say,
put the world is in my head, right? That's the only place to put all this stuff.
yeah, they play mind games though when they tell so-called black people they're the minority, right? They're playing a mind game, so they automatically think. But in reality, there's more so-called black people than anything else, like any other so-called race. But anyway, at
Oh,
the
you
end
was
of the
talking
day,
about in
these
that
are
sense. In that
these are
sense,
just vehicles.
I
Oh
definitely
man,
think melanated people is the largest group on Earth. So-called melanated people, or
Well, they talk about
I wouldn't.
people.
No, let me not say melanated people. Let me just say
Um,
indigenous people. I think indigenous people is the largest group, and they come in all shades, from dark brown, to light brown.
so the evil was the minority, right?
Yeah,
Black, yeah, the evil people was the minority. To me, that's what I think is being said.
I agree 100%. And they come in all colors too. Huh. Just because
Yeah,
you hear the word black people don't mean that they only dark skin or they only copper colored. You know, they come in all colors. They are diverse as the majority. They just the minority.
so that's how you get what you ask for. When you support black people, let's say if it meant saying that it meant dirty and unclean like it does, then that's what I'm saying. Civil rights was for evil people. It's what I
And
hear
but
being
and
said.
that was made in the shit, probably the 1800. When was the black code? Uh, the black code
oh
law.
the Renaissance days you're talking about. I had a brain fart. Now I can't think of this answer either. The
But yeah,
plague,
Black
the Black
Plague,
Plague.
it was around that time. That's when they flipped the script and they went to start to reenacting the script on their own accord. You know, but
Man, I can't think of this word. It's pissing me off. What the fuck is wrong with my brain? It's probably the microplastic building up.
it was the Pope, man. It was the Pope that basically signed this shit. And the Pope, basically let everybody go ahead and executed it. And ever since they made it law. They made it. They made black. Illegal, but I mean, evil. But it's because black was the political force. That was basically uh uh or what a black was the light. Was the light. Because in the beginning uh 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 was darkness. And God said, "Let there be light." You know, so out of the darkness, that's where the light come from. So they didn't want that the light to keep coming out of the darkness. So they turned it into evil. And they've been looking then and ever since they've been looking to see, all right, when is the light is coming out. you know they don't want the people to know when the light is coming out, but they know when the sun is coming up. you know they don't want you to know when the sun is coming up, but they know the sun is coming up and they're looking for it. They already got shit planned. What I'm about to do when the sun come up. I'm finna do this, I'm finna do that. But it's the same thing with the black thing or the black and white thing, because we have to understand these are political terms. These are political titles. So
yeah, it never had
yeah.
really had nothing to do with the real people.
Man,
If we didn't have media and telecommunications, we wouldn't even think we know this stuff.
hmm
peace, Tammy. Peace to
So
everyone,
without,
man. I gotta jump off of here. But again, I thank you, Naga and Yahweh. I meant to use the word participate. I said fucking contribute. Anyway, and
Yeah,
thank you,
man.
Dom.
Appreciate you for
Who
having
else
me.
came up, man? That was
You
it,
too,
right? You
everybody.
guys and Dom came up.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Shout out to you. Yeah, we as always. everybody in the chat, Dom. You know, until next time, man. I think that's how conversation is supposed to be. You know, and I definitely appreciate that, Bill. Until next time, man.
Yeah, great light, y'all. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you. I mean, y'all. Peace, Tommy. I hope everyone has a great day. What time is it? 12 o'clock. Noontime. It's 12. It's almost like when you look at noontime on the clock, it's like it's really at 0. But anyway, I'm out like trout.
All right.